It's one of the greatest stories in American history. The Americans had declared independence almost 40 years prior, and the British didn't like it, so they had been terrorizing them ever since. The British had been capturing American sailors, skirmishes were erupting, battles were intensifying until everything came to a head off the coast of Maryland, where the entirety of the British Navy had their cannons trained on Fort McHenry, where a single American flag was waving proudly in the breeze. The British told the Americans, "We're gonna beat your ass until you take that flag down." But even though they were greatly outnumbered and Washington had already been wiped out, President Madison embodied the spirit of the American fighter and sent Francis Scott Key to those British ships to negotiate the release of some of the prisoners. The prisoners were in the belly of the ship, so they couldn't see what was going on. All they could do was hear the rockets and the bombs as they were being fired from the British ships over the ramparts, which is like the protective sea wall, into the fort. And all through the night, Francis would lead the prisoners, go up to the deck of the ship, and with the light of all those explosions, he could still see that battered, tattered flag still waving. Until the wee hours of the morning, when all cannon fire stopped and there was nothing but silence. And as the sun broke the horizon to dawn the new day, Francis could see that the battle-torn flag was no longer there, but that a newer, bigger American flag was waving proudly in its place to signify that once again, against all odds, American freedom had declared victory. So overwhelmed with emotions on what he just witnessed, Francis Scott Key sat down and wrote a poem about it. That poem would eventually become our national anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner.